Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Emily, and I love to do makeup, and I love all things beauty. So just a note about the audio here. I noticed that my microphone wasn't plugged in properly for the first half of the video, but then in the second half of the video, the audio picks back up again and it's a little bit louder. So just so you're aware, and you may have to turn up the volume in the first half and then turn it back down in the second half. So today I thought I would sit down and do a little fall inspired makeup look using a palette that I've had for a while, I just haven't really used very much. It's the Bailey Sarian Fatally Yours with Melt Cosmetics, and I thought I would dip into this because it has lots of really cool fall colors in it, and I want to do a really fall kind of like graphic look today. And also I wanted to do some makeup today just to cheer myself up a little bit, kind of distract myself from my situation of what's going on right now. I did lose my job this week, my full-time job, but you know, I want to move on from the situation. On the bright side, I've got lots more free time now. So I can do more makeup looks, I can do more videos, so hopefully I can get that content out and do more of what I love to do. Anyways, I've already primed my eyes with the About Face eyeshadow primer, and so I'm gonna get into the palette right away. I think what I might do is I might start off with the shade Thallium, yeah, the shade, this kind of like orangey rust color. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of like a liner. I kind of want to do like a double liner. So line on the top and on the bottom lash line and then leave like a little space in between. So I'm going to take this teeny tiny angle brush. I'll start on the upper lash line and I'll kind of drag it up like a little bit higher than I normally would. Because normally I kind of go a little bit more straight out from my eye, but I'm going to go up a little bit more just so that I have that space in between. So then I'll bring that shade back on the upper lash line. So I'm just kind of like filling in this liner that I've created. And I'm going to try and like taper it in towards the middle of my eye. So I've created this liner with the shade Thallium, and I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with the shade Serum, whatever this burgundy kind of shade is, plummy burgundy shade. So I'm just going to take that same brush and then go closer to the lash line with it and just kind of like deepen it up towards the lash line. Okay, so I'm going to create kind of a double wing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a bit of this eyeshadow primer on my lower lash line just so that there's a bit of a base there for the eyeshadow. Make sure to put that below the liner that I just created and along the lash line here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same Thallium shade, the first one that we went in with, which was kind of that rusty orangey brown shade, and then I'm just going to start from my outer corner and drag a line kind of parallel to the line that I created with my wing here. Then I can take that same shade with the liner brush and drag it along my lower lash line here. And then just kind of thicken up the line that I just created, but also making sure to taper it out towards the edge. I also kind of use my fingernail to just go along the edge of it to kind of clean it up a little bit. We can also go in with either like a lighter eyeshadow or a concealer and clean it up as well. But again, taking that kind of deeper plummy shade and deepening that line I created on the bottom right along the lash line. So that's what the double liner is looking like right now. I kind of want to do some little like, I don't know, like swoopy detail in this like inner corner here. I feel like that would be really cool. But I don't know what shade I want to do. I'm going to take the shade Phosgene. I'm taking it on this kind of like angled flat brush here. I'm going to start in my inner corner here and just go whoop, like that. Just go in again, building that up. It's kind of cool actually, that shape. Who knows if I'm going to be able to recreate that exact shape on the other side, but it looks pretty cool, I think. I'm just kind of feathering the edge of this green on my crease right here. I'm just going to take a clean brush and just feather that edge away. I've never really done like a detail like that before, but I think that looks really cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to recreate it on the other side, but I guess we will see. I wonder if I should add anything else. Maybe a shimmer in the middle? I feel like a shimmer in the middle would look really nice. Just like right here, like a green kind of shimmer. There's no shimmers in this palette, but let me see if I can find something that'll work. I'm gonna take this, which is a ColourPop Chrome Liquid Shadow. This was from the Legend of Korra collection, and this is the shade Earth. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the center of my eye, going up on an angle a little bit. I think the shadow might be a little bit dried out, unfortunately. It's a little bit dry and crumbly, but you know what? I'm gonna make it work. So just kind of brought it up almost pretty much to my eyebrow. It kind of looks cool. I wonder if I should bring some of the green down on my lower lash line as well. Let's take some of that Phosgene color and I'm gonna blend it into the liner that I did on my lower lash line, just to bring some of that green and tie it together. That's such an interesting look. Like, I've never really done a look like this before, but I just wanted to have some fun and do some shapes that I've never really done before. I'm very kind of like basic when I do my makeup. I do like to experiment with things like color and how smoky my looks are and liner and stuff like that, but I don't really experiment a lot with the different shapes of eyeshadow and liner that I do. So this is really new and interesting for me. So I'm going to try and match this the best that I can on the other eye, and then I will come back and then we will do the base together. Okay, so I changed up the eye a little bit. I got rid of the kind of like swoopy ball part that was in the front, and I just kind of blended it out a little bit more. I think it looks a little bit better this way because I could not for the life of me match the shape on both sides, so I thought this would look a little bit more even and would look better. So I used the same shade and I just added more and kind of blended it out on the inner part of my crease. And then I just added some mascara, which is the Clio Kill Lash Superproof mascara in volume curling. This is my favorite mascara. This one is a waterproof one, so if you don't like waterproof ones, then this will not be for you, because it is really difficult to take off unless you have a specific waterproof mascara remover. But this one, it's the only one that keeps my lashes up. I always curl my lashes and my lashes just point straight down, and this is the only one that keeps it up. So this one always and forever. So let's move on to the base. I'm going to use my Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint. This one is the one I've been loving recently. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. That's probably too much actually. I have been liking a little bit more of a lighter coverage recently, so that might be a little bit much, but I'm gonna take my Sephora Collection 47 brush and I'm going to prime the brush like Katie Jane Hughes does. She's a celebrity makeup artist and she always primes the brush, gets it really blended into the bristles before going onto the skin with it. And then I'll just kind of swipe it down to start off with. And then I go back in, get some more product, and then I can kind of build up the coverage as I need to. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said the shade of the skin tint. I use the shade 110, which is one of the lightest ones. I don't think it's the lightest one. It might be the second lightest one, but it is one of the lighter ones because, I mean, look at my complexion. I do blend it down my neck a little bit just to kind of blend it in seamlessly so that there's not like a harsh line along my jawline. But I don't like to apply a ton of product like all the way down my neck because then, you know, it interferes with like my clothing and stuff. And I just also don't like the feeling of it. But I do like to apply just a little bit like underneath my chin and my jawline just so that it blends seamlessly. Okay, now for concealer, I'm going to use the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. I think that's what it's called. Yes, Tower 28 Serum Concealer in the shade BH. This one is the lightest one. I like this one because it does brighten a little bit more under my eye. And since I did my eyes first, I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful with blending my concealer because I already have eyeshadow underneath my eye, covering a couple blemishes that I have as well. But usually, if I don't have any blemishes, I will just put concealer underneath my eyes. But obviously, if I have any blemishes, the skin tint is not quite enough coverage to cover those up as much as I would like. So that's when I put a little bit of concealer on there. And I usually, when I put concealer on any blemishes, I usually like to let it sit for a while on my blemishes just so that it sets a little bit so that it doesn't completely blend away and not provide the coverage that I need it to provide. Just a little tip, if you need to cover any blemishes and you are using a more kind of serum-y or liquidy concealer, dot it on and then just leave it for a couple of minutes while you blend out your under eye concealer, or, you know, apply like blush or whatever products you need to apply first so that it sets a little bit and provides a little bit more coverage on those blemishes. But I'm trying my best to not cover up my eyeshadow here on my lower lash line. I can feel my cheeks getting really red from the lights in here. This always happens to me. I always get really like flushed, and look at that, like my under eyes look so bright. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the skin tint, I think, on my cheeks just to hopefully cover up a bit of that redness. Might not completely cover it, but I'm just like one of those people that just gets so red. I don't know whether it's rosacea or if I just get flushed really easily. When I do my makeup every day, it doesn't look like this. Like, it looks normal and my cheeks don't get quite as red. But as soon as I'm like in front of these lights, it's just like tomato face instantly. Did that help? I don't know. Well, that's just gonna have to do. I'm gonna try and blend out these blemishes here. Just kind of patting it with my concealer brush. I'm not trying to blend away the coverage there. I could have probably used my slightly darker Tower 28 concealer, but I'm a bit lazy and I didn't want to grab the other shade. Okay, now I want to go in with a bit of blush. I'm gonna wait to set my face because I want to use a liquid blush. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Believe, which is kind of like this kind of plummy, browny fall blush shade. And I think it'll go well with this look. I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty blush brush, and always with these Rare Beauty blushes, always blend it onto the back of your hand before going in. Do not dot it on your face because it's just gonna look like way too much. Yeah, that's really nice. I think with this look, it looks really good. I'm not really gonna do any bronzer. I think I'm just gonna keep it really blushy and more on the high points. So like on the outer parts of my face, just like really blush it up back here, but not do any bronzer. And of course, because it's me, I like to do a little bit of blush on the end of my nose because I love that look. I feel like it makes me look like a fairy and I like it. I'm gonna now set my face with powder. I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty powder in the shade Sugar Cookie. I just got a mini of this powder because I wasn't sure whether I was gonna like it, but I love this powder. It's honestly the best loose powder. I think if you have oily skin or you have combo skin, you get like an oily T-zone or anything like that, you need this powder. I was like, people are like hyping up this powder, blah, 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 blah. For good reason. They are hyping up this powder because this powder is so good. Just gonna pat underneath my eye, make sure there's no creases. And then I'm gonna go in with the powder and set. I like to get some of the powder from the lid and then I kind of like tap it off and pre-blend it on my hand as well, just so that I'm not like caking up with a whole bunch of powder, especially underneath the eyes. You don't want it to look too cakey there. And then for the rest of my face, I'll use a little puff. Again, I like to get it on the puff and then tap it out on my hand and then go in and press it. The only thing about this powder is it does have a scent to it. So if you are bothered by fragrances at all, then this one might not work for you. You might not like it. I find the smell dissipates, like I don't really mind it. Usually I'm a little bit sensitive to fragrances, but for me this one is fine. But I could see some people getting bothered by the fragrance. So I'm just doing a layer of powder just all over with the puff, just so that everything is set into place. Here's the thing about having thick brows like me. Sometimes I just forget to do my brows. They're just like an afterthought because I already have thick brows, so it's not like I have to fill them in and it looks weird. Like it looks normal if I don't do my brows. Most of the time, I usually just go in with a clear brow gel. Like today, I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Super Lock brow glue. Especially if I have my eyebrows dyed to match my hair, I don't really feel the need to fill in my brows necessarily. I just use the brow gel to kind of shape them and lay the hairs down flat. And then I kind of fluff up the front part of my brow here. And then I just kind of press it so it locks it into place. These brows are both a blessing and a curse because I'm very glad that I don't have to fill in my brows all the time and that I am blessed with hair that looks like my brows are full all the time, but also the unibrow. The unibrow. I don't trust anyone else with my brows because I've had experiences where they have done my brows way too thin and it looks really strange on me. So I always do my brows myself, but I do end up doing like a lot of plucking right here. Okay, so now I'm debating adding more blush because I love blush and that's just who I am. But I really, do I add the RMS blush? These blushes, oh my gosh, these blushes are so pretty. I love these blushes. This one's really dark. When I use this, I add like such a light layer of it, but oh my gosh, the glow from these blushes is so stunning. I have this one and then I have the pink shade, which is like French Rose or something. This one is called Hanky Panky. Why? What's the names? Sometimes the names just, I'm like, just use a normal name. Just use a normal name. Anyways, I'm gonna add some. I think I am. I'm just gonna put like a little bit on this brush right here and then just like lightly tap it and then swirl it. I find the swirling is what really like activates these blushes and makes the glow in them look so nice. And then it adds such a nice glow to the cheeks without needing to use a highlighter or like a glow booster or anything. And again, always add it to the nose. Now for lips, I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know what would look good with this look. Do I do a dark lip? Do I do a nude lip? What do I do? I could go like this route. I could go match maybe the liner. Oh shit. This lipstick literally just fell out of the component. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. This one. Okay, I found my lip liner. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish lip liner in the shade Cappucino. I just blotted off the lip balm that I had on my lips. Nicola Rose likes to powder her lips. Just like a little bit. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna apply Cappucino. This is a really nice, like kind of neutral, leaning cool brown. And as you know, it is really difficult to find actually cool toned lip liners or actually cool toned products just in general. So there's Cappucino. Use my finger, blend it out a little bit. Maybe let's not use the broken lipstick. Let's use this one. This is one of the Melt Bailey Sarian lipsticks in the shade Circe. Can't remember. Is this the second collection or is this the first one? I can't remember. This one's a bit lighter. I do like that. Here's the thing, do I put a gloss over top of it? Or do I keep it matte? I don't know. I kind of like it matte. Is that crazy? I'm usually not a fan of matte, like super matte lips because my lips are always crusty, dusty, dry. But I had that lip balm on. I do really like the Melt lipsticks. Alrighty, so this is the finished look. Thank you for sitting down and getting ready with me, doing this makeup look with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to be creating more makeup looks and more videos for you soon. If you have any ideas for looks or videos that you want to see me do, please leave them in the comments down below. So that is all for today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!